The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Monday, the 9th day of January 2023. Welcome to the first episode of the calendar year on Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical Hours, One Communications, and Mac and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's smiling. Sherry Vanderpool and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sister Sherry.
Hi, Jamal.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, man. Look, I'm well. I am great. I said between Christmas and New Year's, right? I said, man, this is the most unproductive I've ever been as an adult. Then I thought about it. I'm like, no, it isn't. I said, we have to normalize rest and recovery as being productive.
Yeah. Definitely.
I feel, man, I've literally run 2 miles every day since Christmas, probably like minimum, right? I mean, I'm no damn Flora Duffy, but my point is, I'm getting up and moving. I've been doing a thing, man.
Well, you're doing way more than me, but 2 miles, that's a lot, Jamal, to me.
I mean, baby steps. When you got an almost 60-year-old uncle shaming you running like 6 miles and talking about, okay, now let's get up to 3. Mind your business, bro. Yeah. But how was your holiday, Sherry?
It was good. I started it off. I ended my year like how I started with COVID. So I call it, I call it baby COVID because it's like what was it? I had a low level COVID. That's what it was.
So what they called it in Bermuda a couple years ago was low level birdie or something like that.
Yeah. I had a regular cold again, Jamal, and listening to Sanchez, she's like, "Did you test?" I was like, "No." Just like you're scared to. Basically, I was like, "Yeah," but went ahead and tested, and 2 lines came up. I was like, "Oh, I got that test from Bermuda. Let me try this U.S. test." 2 lines came up, but it was like on a Tuesday. By Friday, I tested negative on New Year's Eve. So that was good.
I'm glad you're back to normal because it seems like the holidays equate to Sherry coming down with COVID. I'm glad everything, you're good and you came out and now we're looking forward to a healthier 2023, right?
Yes, definitely. I got some fruit over here on the left. I got some ginger tea happening. So, yeah.
I must say honestly, and I say this, I don't get into feelings and all that. I'm not that person, but I actually did miss waking up and doing this show. Like I missed the audience. You know what else I missed?
What?
I missed like having conversations with people daily. You know what else I missed?
What?
Okay, I missed you too, Sherry. I missed you too. I missed you too.
This is being recorded, right?
This is why I don't tell you nothing. But no, I did miss having conversations with the Bermudian people, with this audience. And yes, it is about time. Happy New Year to you too, Mark, Arthur C. Phillips, Auntie Karen. Good morning and a happy New Year to you. Yes, we're back, Shayna Smith. Happy New Year to you. Chica Trot. good morning to you. And Tamara, yes, she probably doesn't get enough of me texting her all the time and us in the group. But in Jamaica, probably got the best weather there right now. I was freezing up there this morning.
Definitely. You see
So,
what I'm doing.
good morning to you, Sister Jamaica and Tanya Cheeseman and Davita O'Brien. Oh, I've got a story. So Davita O'Brien's got this drink called Vita Fusion. And
Oh.
folks, I'm going to tell you, she ain't paid me a red cent. But if you haven't, it's a mocktail. Get to that sister and get that drink. It was delicious. Honestly, delicious.
Well, where do you could get it?
She'll have to come on the show and let us know.
Oh, Davita.
Anyway, folks, greetings. Just got to put people out there. Greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. We have a good one today. We're welcoming Bermuda's biggest star, Dame Flora Duffy, on the show to kick off 2023 with us. The Daily Play, don't forget that. Yeah, the Daily Play.
Right.
Yeah. It's a Who Said It. So,
Jamal.
Yeah, Daily Play hasn't gone.
I had a good straight Christmas time, and now it's like gonna probably be like
back to normal. Back to normal. Folks, if this is your first time tuning in, please don't let it be your last. The show is now available live on our website, thedailyhour.com. So you no longer need social media to tune in live to watch the show. This is great, right? If you haven't already, please subscribe on our website. Those who were subscribed received the information to know this show was happening today and who the guest was. So make sure you're subscribing on the site and follow us on social media. We don't bother you. We share posts every now and then. We're easy. We don't like people bothering us. But let's kick off the show with a question, Sherry.
All right. What is it, Jamal?
I mean, based on this headlines in the Royal Gazette, it could have been a lot of things, but
I know. There was all sorts of things that happened in like the last 24, 48 hours at least.
One thing I will say, and I want to touch on this before we jump into today's discussion. I had some amazing conversations while I was in Bermuda, and I am so grateful for every CEO, business leader that opened their door to me, and I appreciate you, honestly. But one thing that it helped me understand is if we're not having discussions in this forum, where are they taking place? And we don't talk just to talk. We talk so that we can come up with solutions. So, folks, we appreciate you being part of the conversation. Let's get this year kicked off. Let's talk about it. This is a year of accountability. And accountability starts with each and every one of us. Your question, what do you hope to do better in 2023 that your community and loved ones will benefit from? You. Accountability starts with I. That's the question of the morning. What do you hope to do better in 2023 that your community and loved ones will benefit from?
So the question when you posed it, Jamal, was I had to really take a think about like in reference to the community and family part, right? So still for me, it started, like you said, with me. And I think I even said it last year, because 2022 was not one of the best years that I have seen. But I still feel like consistency and transparency for me is still at the top of my list of the things that I need to do. And I also know
you're not transparent, Sherry?
Well, I could be a little bit more. But I do feel that if I'm starting with myself, it will then spill over into community and family as well. So if I'm consistent with the things that I'm doing, it can also help and be a part of that, or put me in a position where I can do more in those areas. Also, I guess on just adding to that, being in tune with what's going on around the world a lot more than what it is that I am now. And I really need to buckle down into getting into some more readings and stuff, because I am not a reader. I am not. If my mama's watching, she's going to be like, Yeah. So I just need to do more of those kind of things. I'm getting to that age where that stuff is important.
Getting to that age. I wasn't. She went there first in 2023. Folks.
Easy.
She went there first. Well, no, honestly, I hear you. When I think of this question, what do you hope to do better in 2023 that your community and loved ones will benefit from? Number one for me is listening. I want to become a better listener, and when I say that is, again, every CEO that spent time with me in Bermuda over the last month, every last one that welcomed me into their office, had lunch with me, had coffee with me, one thing stood out. They listened. They listened, but they also gave a lot of advice. None of them had to give me their time, knowing that the holidays is one of the busiest times for many of them. It's a time of wind down for some of them, right? But listening, all of them had this skill of taking things in, and I think becoming a better listener can lead to becoming a better person because you're taking more in, and not just. I know this cliche statement about listening to respond versus understand, but it's not listening unless you're trying to comprehend what the person or people are saying, right? Otherwise, it's like, you're what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
So for me, I believe that I owe it to the community in this space in particular, but family as well, and colleagues, and even subordinates. I owe it to them to listen and find ways to take the information that is being shared to become a better person in whatever space that I'm in. So that's what I believe I can do to do better for our community. I didn't call any names, so I definitely didn't say listen.
You need to listen. Yeah, you need to listen to me a lot.
What would I find out by listening to you, Sherry?
You will find that if you listen to me more, your patience wouldn't be so you're real So
yeah, I don't have those. Yeah, well, maybe that's something I need to work with. See, Sherry just brought up a good point. Patience. What do I hope to do better in 2023? Have patience. And actually, I've done well. Some people have been cutting me off over the first week. No, sir. People cut me off on the highway. They've been cutting me off. Even yesterday, I was like, nope, I'm not getting angry. You're not raising my blood pressure. I'm not in a rush. I'm just going to the grocery store to get my blueberries for my oatmeal. Nope. I did not respond. Folks, let us know. What are your thoughts? What do you hope to do better in 2023 that your community and loved ones could benefit from? It's interesting. You're quiet this morning. Are we not accountable for our actions this morning?
Well, people are just probably trying to take it in, Jamal. They're like, really, what can I do better for myself 2023 as well? Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's much tougher self-critique. It's much tougher looking within and seeing what we can do. It's so easy saying that the government should do this or do that. Look, I'm going to be honest, and this is going forward. Hold me to this.
Okay.
After my trip to Bermuda, understanding how incompetent our government is, I honestly have no interest in discussing them as much, because at the end of the day, the government is the government because the people are the people. Keep that in mind. It's as simple as that. Our problems are within. And so for me, I think it's time for us, if not now, then when? To look within and start solving our own problems. We have the intelligence, we have the will, but do we have the heart? Do we have the work ethic to really say, you know what? I'm going to fix this. I want better. I'm going to do better. None of us is perfect, right, Sherry?
No, none of us. And as I sat and reflected this morning, it was like, we're 9 days into the year. What habits and what things have we already started to do differently? Because Jamal, in all honesty, like January is going to be going like this. It really is. When you go into stores now, you see people putting out Valentine's stuff. It's like,
man, they had that stuff out on Boxing Day, man.
I know.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that. Again, audience, you're still silent. But what do you hope to do better in 2023 that your community and loved ones will benefit from? Well, I shared a tweet, right? We've had Latoya Shelton on previously. We've had Tamara on speaking about the slave diet. If you don't understand it, then that's on you, but you have the opportunity to. And they spoke about, the Rashida Godwin's also spoken about it as well, the history with codfish and potatoes. People, I've had colleagues in the past say that I eat rabbit food, right? I will share this publicly with you. I do the Daniel fast every January. I have dropped 10 pounds already since the start of the year. The idea is not about weight loss. It's really about cleansing and being closer to your God or whatnot. But what does mine consist of? Last week I did no carbs, right? Now, this was the easiest transition for me into the Daniel fast. Why? Because I ate so much crap while I was in Bermuda, fried fish and French fries almost daily, right? So my body was not interested in it anymore by the time I transitioned into my Daniel fast. Last week, I was literally eating salads and beets and raw onion and what's that, squash or sweet potato. And my dressing was lemon and it was delicious. I'm not making myself believe this. It literally was. And some cayenne pepper. People act like, oh, you're so disciplined. It's a mindset. It's a mindset, right? I tell people all the time, if the idea is weight loss, for me, it's easy if I just want to do it. It's just a matter of whether I do it or not. But it's not, again, I'm not a professional at this. I don't advise people to do what I do. I don't tell people to do what I do. I've challenged myself to get back to making sure I take 10,000 steps a day. What have I done? Everybody in my family has watches now. Well, my sister, she don't care, but everybody's pretty much doing the challenge. No, she like, whatever, bro. But I've got everyone in my family. We have challenges now. We're challenging each other for steps on the Garmin app, right? So challenging. Well, I'm not challenging my uncle no more. He's put me to shame. But how many miles we run a week? So I'm trying to get 15 miles in. So these are simple things that to me will benefit my family by challenging us to get steps and eat healthier and be healthier. My daddy last night, I knew he was on the treadmill. It's like, I've been on the treadmill. His steps are up there, right? But it's simple things like that. Eating better and encouraging you, connecting on an app so that you can challenge each other to do better in health. This is what we're doing in my family. And look, if we can be set up like, I guess a barometer for folks, I'm happy for that. But simple challenges like that have done well just over 1 week.
And before you go to the comments, Jamal, real quick, my challenge for my friends have been to just write down something positive that happened either that day or that week, and put it into a jar. And hopefully by the end of the year, we can all share different positive things. Because I think we get so lost in what our daily lives are and don't look at the small things that are positive. And so to kind of just bring that forward a lot.
Yeah, indeed. Let's go to the comments. Tanya Cheeseman says, like Sherry, I'm not a reader and would like to get into reading more as well as talk less and listen more. Taking in what has been said, reflect on it before providing a response if needed even. Interesting because I wasn't a reader until like 2 years ago, probably 3. But I actually love reading now because I don't watch much TV. So I think it comes down to that as well. Pamela Wade, she says, be more of an encourager and support when necessary. Oh, we love that, Nana Pam. Yes.
Nice.
People in our community need encouragement. They need positive reinforcement and words. And again, going back to the CEOs I met, I appreciated the words they gave me. You want to take Jody Virgil's, Sister Sherry?
Sure. I want to ensure I get better sleep and rest to make sure I can have energy to support others and make time for connecting. Jody, melatonin was my friend last night. However, I don't want that to be something that is a ritual. And so I do try to do a better nighttime routine.
And she goes, say, oh yes, sorry. Oh yes, the clean eating is on my books too. Thanks, Jamal. Yeah, it's you feel better, honestly. And the other thing with the Garmin app, we can monitor each other's sleep. Yeah, my sleep patterns. I mean, I've been sleeping well during the break, folks. This morning, getting up and going for my jog at 5 a.m. The conditions were great, 63 degrees, better conditions, because over the break, waking up a bit later, I don't usually run during daylight and dealing with the sun. So the conditions early in the morning are better for me. The only thing I have to watch out for is wildlife. So yeah. Ebony Souza says, working on improving my consistency and follow through. I love that. I love that. Karen Simmons says, self-care, getting plenty of rest, taking time off to rejuvenate, maintaining healthy habits, and engaging in more positive conversations that elevate my consciousness. Sam Cat Play says, no resolutions, just be intentional. Happy New Year, fan. No resolutions ever. We don't do those, I don't think.
Yeah.
And we've got Mark Officer Phillips, good morning, TH fan. Happy New Year, everyone. Have a blessed New Year. Jody Virgil says, yes, the melatonin. I feel you on that as well. Same thoughts here. And we'll close it out with Tamara McHale says, fitness for sure. I want to lose a little weight. Got my dream bike. All right, Miss Model. Miss Model. Let's bring Maya in. Look, man, I miss Maya too, man. I miss Maya.
Oh, look at you! This Daniel fast is bringing out a lot of stuff.
Let me go have a chicken wing today. You all making me feel like it. Anyway, let's bring Maya into the conversation, folks. We've got Bermuda's biggest star coming up, Dan Flora Duffy. We're gonna start the year off. Great conversation, but before we get to her, let's bring in Maya Palacio for your first Daily Hour news break of 2023.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh,
morning.
How are you, Maya?
I'm feeling really good. Like, it's a very fresh show of the new year, and it's just got me cheesing. Like, this is great to be back.
Oh, and your hair looks nice, Maya. I like your hair.
Thank you. It took me 10 hours.
You did it yourself?
You did it yourself?
Yes, girl.
All right. Hats off.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. So what are your thoughts, Maya? What do you hope to do better in 2023 that your community and loved ones will benefit from?
Oof, I just hope to be a lot more disciplined, dedication, and delivery. That's literally my main focus is on every wall in my house or every mirror I put up there. Discipline, dedication, delivery. Just got to be more consistent and just hoping for the best view to help others, help myself, because you can't really help others without making sure that you're good first. So.
Indeed. Before we get in the news break, can I have a joke, please? Can we start 2023 with a joke? I asked.
Yes, positivity, right. Let's go.
Here's a joke.
Sure, Jamal.
Here's a joke, audience. Here's your joke for the morning. Here we go. When does a female deer need money?
When does a female deer? What's another name for a female deer?
When does a female deer need money? You ready? Ready?
Sure, Jamal.
When she doesn't have a buck. Get it? But no.
Yeah, I get it.
When the young people did laugh, that's the funniest right there. The young people did laugh. She said, yeah, I get it.
The 2023 joke didn't get off to a good start. So let's get the news break. What you got in the news for us, Miss?
Well, good morning, everyone. Here's your daily hour news break from the People's Pharmacy. And this is a quick recap of the last few days of 2022 for you guys. I made a short video, so let's take a look.
Bermuda recorded a total of 11 fatal road traffic collisions for 2022. The 11th death was announced on December 30th with the passing of 78-year-old male pedestrian. The collision occurred shortly after 10 a.m. on Thursday, December 29th. The police share their deepest condolences with the family. In other collision-related news, as the 2022 year came to a close, here's a look at the fatal collisions over the last 4 years. 2022 recorded less than 2021, and as for serious injury collisions over the last 4 years, Bermuda recorded a higher record from the previous year, but still lower than 2019. In other community-related news, over the holidays, there was an altercation with the Bermuda Gombeys. Like any family, there are sure to be disagreements, and shortly after, the Bermuda Gombe Council apologized to the community for the behavior of some within their tight community. The leaders of each Gombe troop met collectively at the Gombe Council. saying much work has been done over the past few years to strengthen the ties between each Gombe troop. And as role models in the community, the Gombe leaders are committed to retaining these connections and working together to preserve the culture they all love. The impacted troops have internally dealt with those that escalate tensions, and all troops have created policies to deter any antisocial behavior and promote unity within the culture. Clashes are a part of Gombe tradition to showcase the unique artistry of each troop and to celebrate that of all of us are continuing the Bermuda Gombe culture. Now, in other news, there were no babies due to be born on Christmas Day, but that did not stop 3 special gifts from arriving that afternoon. So, welcoming the babies born on December 25th, Lucky was born at 4:26 a.m., and then Justice Rose Deal was born at 9:32 a.m., and a third baby was born in the afternoon. Rebecca Ezekiel and George Scott welcomed a son at 3:17 p.m. And as for New Year babies, the first babies were born on Wednesday, January 4th. They welcomed in Clara Elizabeth at 10:05 p.m. and she was 6 pounds 15 ounces, and the second baby was born that day as well. And closing out the 2022 recap, on December 30th, CONCACAF announced the spectacular bicycle kick goal by Bermuda Dante Levra earned the #1 spot in CONCACAF's best goals of 2022.
Man, that was some goal, wasn't it?
It really was.
Yeah. I said that. Hey, I felt like I scored it. That's how much I was. It's like when Flora wins. I feel like I'm out there doing the work. I even feel tired afterwards after the celebration. So no, I get it. I'm just saying. What else you got for us, Mike? That's a good recap. Thank you.
No problem. So unfortunately, I'm starting out this year with some sad news. You may have already heard about it, but sad news that the former Premier, Dr. Ewart Brown, is mourning the loss of his son, Maurice Pitt, who sustained severe head injuries in a car accident in Louisiana Saturday night. Maurice's mother, Maureen Pitt, was visiting him and daughter Cassie at the time. Maurice was 40 years of age.
So young. Sad. Very sad, and definitely condolences to Dr. Brown. Privately, we were texting last night, and something, no parent wants to do, regardless of the age of their child. So on behalf of everyone, definitely sending love and comfort to he and his family.
Yes, definitely. My grandma always said it's always a sad day when a parent has to bury their child.
Indeed.
In other related news, 2023 starting out with a robbery, actually. Shortly before 6:15 p.m. on Saturday, the 7th of January, police responded to a report of an armed robbery at Henry's Pantry and Liquor Store, South Shore Road, Southampton. Early reports suggest that 2 men, one armed with a knife, entered the store and made demands for money. A store employee handed over an unknown sum of cash to the assailant, who then left the store riding a motorcycle in an easterly direction along South Road. Suspects are described as 2 dark-skinned males, one approximately 5 foot 6 inches tall, the other approximately 6 inches tall, both medium built, wearing dark clothing and shoes. Both suspects also wore gloves and black helmets, wearing gloves. Anyone with any witnesses who may have suspected any activity or seen anything within that area, please are urged to call the police on 211 or the confidential Crime Stoppers number at 800-8477.
Okay.
I don't know any. I mean, obviously, no one's been brought before the courts or anything for this, but if you can't find a job, go and create a legal one for yourself. But come on, man. Seriously.
Antisocial behavior has increased tremendously in Bermuda over the year. So.
My goodness. What else you got?
Well, coming to a near close to my report, this coming from the World Gazette this morning in their headlines reported by Fiona McGregor, more than $30 million has been committed over the past 4 years to the Bermuda Tourism Authority in dealing with sports-related linked things. This coming from the Quango latest contract information showed. The highest expenditure listed was a $17.86 million agreement from April 2019 to the end of March 2024 with the PGA Tour to sponsor the Bermuda Championship Golf Weekend. You can read more about this on the Gazette itself. And finally, the Zone in Youth Forum is happening tonight from 6 to 9 at the Western Zone community. Anyone who wants to speak to the newly appointed minister, Owen Darrell, is the new Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, and he's encouraging youth to come down there to the forum and speak with him and talk to them about what we would like to see in the community in Bermuda.
Cool. What's the weather looking like, man?
Oh, the weather's looking like a mix of sun and clouds, and we got a high of 69 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's still a little chilly out there. So wear your jackets on your bikes and definitely your gloves, because my fingers have been freezing in this weather lately.
Stay warm out there, Sherry. What's the day of the year, the first one for 2023?
Well, I kind of have like two. So the first one would be that January is considered Veganary Month. And it's a month-long celebration of all things vegan and was created to encourage non-vegans to try out the lifestyle, often referred to as a lifestyle and not a diet. Vegans who practice veganism aim to reduce the suffering of animals, help the planet, and improve global health by not eating any animal products such as meat, dairy, or eggs, and so forth. So just so you know that January is Veganary Month. In addition to, today is Clean Your Desk Day. What a way to start the year. Most people are guilty of having piles of paper and letter cluttering gathering on their desks. We all know that a tidy desk makes for what? A tidy mind. Clean Your Desk Day is a chance to come together to conquer mess and pave a way to clear thinking and clean work spaces.
I feel like she's yelling at me just now.
What does your workspace look like, Jamal?
Let me show you. Well, Sherry's asking what my workspace looks like, so I'm just gonna record for everyone to see, and I'll show it to you later.
It's the camera for me.
I'm sorry. Backstage. Maya, we'll see you later.
I'll see you guys later. Have a great show.
All righty. Maya Palacio, folks. We've got Dan Flora coming up, folks. Do not go anywhere. Great conversation. Stick with us. Get your questions ready, because always a great time when we have a star that shines this bright joining us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All righty. Welcome back to the big show. Sherry Vanderpool, I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and Mac, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, so as I said earlier, if you don't know, you no longer need social media to watch this show. You can now go on our website, thedailyhour.com. We are streaming each episode of Bermuda's Daily Talk Show live. So check us out on there. Again, family, friends that don't have social media, folks Cher's age, sometimes prefer to watch something live elsewhere. But folks, without further ado, let's bring in our very special guest for the day. We've got Dame Flora Duffy. Good morning, madam.
Hello, good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy 2023 to you. So let's get right into it. So just tell us, first off, congratulations to all you accomplished in 2022, and we'll get to that. But how does Flora Duffy celebrate the holidays?
They differ sort of each year, I guess, depending. a lot of it really depends on when my season ends and where my season ends. And if we're doing Christmas my side of the family or Christmas Dan's side of the family. So this year we were here in South Africa for Christmas and New Year, which was really nice. But it's summer, right? So it's like so different from, I guess, like a lot of other places in the world. And I find it's not as festive here. So I'm like, there's hard to see Christmas trees, there's no Christmas lights. Like it really doesn't feel like that Christmas vibe. But at the same time, it's nice because it's really warm and you can go by the beach and be outside. And so, yeah, we had a pretty quiet Christmas this year, spending time with Dan's side of the family. His sisters have quite a few kids each, and they're really cute, fun ages. So I really enjoy hanging with them. And they're really into riding mountain bikes. So it's been fun to ride bikes with them.
Nice.
That's awesome. When I tell you, I am so excited to have this conversation with you, Dame Flora Duffy. I get very jealous of seeing everybody's pictures taken with you and everything, but now I get to talk to you, so I'm super excited. So I just wanted to get that out. But what a year 2022 was for you. You capped it off with 4 world triathlon titles. How does it feel to be at the top of your sport?
Thank you. Yeah, going into 2022, I really didn't know what to expect off of an Olympic year. It was just so much to take in and then refocus again to race. But yeah, I guess for me to answer that question specifically, on one hand, obviously it feels great. And if I think back to what I've accomplished, it's more than I ever could have possibly dreamed of or hoped for. So I'm very proud of that. But then on the other hand, I mean, I still just feel like a normal, I don't know, 35-year-old professional athlete. Like I have my good days, I have my bad days. I just took a long break and I'm getting back into training now. And I certainly feel extremely far away from the shape that I was in when I raced in Bermuda last year or when I won in Abu Dhabi. So this morning swimming in the pool, I certainly just felt like a regular old person struggling up and down the pool. Nobody's there. That's the Olympic gold medalist, you know. So that we all find it hard getting back into shape.
Indeed. So you felt like me then. Okay, got you. So speaking of Bermuda, you obviously won in Bermuda again. How does running in Bermuda, knowing like this is your home crowd, they're going to be behind you. It's like fandom is crazy. How does it differ to running outside of Bermuda?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's incredible. Just, I mean, the feeling, the atmosphere, the emotion of racing at home is like no other race that I've ever done. It's really incredibly special. I can remember, I was unsure like if the race is going to happen again. So on that day, I was like, Flora, you need to race well and execute a great race, but you also need to be present and really soak up this moment because here you are, the reigning Olympic champion racing at home. Like that doesn't happen all the time. So there was definitely moments throughout the race where I sort of like allowed myself to sort of drift and sort of like take note of the crowd and the faces and everyone that was out there. And it was just really special. One memory that pops to mind is Steve Burgess. He was my running coach growing up. He was at a quieter part of the course on Front Street. And he shouted to me, "It's just like Front Street Mile, Flora, just like Front Street Mile." And that was so special because it was such a full circle moment. Because Front Street Mile, when I was growing up, I trained with Steve for it. It was a really big event. And here I am many years later running on Front Street at a professional event, leading a major race. And it was just really special that, Steve was also there and watching me perform that day.
I just want to say this. If you don't know the name Steve Burgess, folks, he is probably one of the most influential names in Bermuda when it comes to young people. When I say his name comes up with like professional athletes outside of Bermuda, I didn't even meet him in Bermuda. I met him in Connecticut, but he told me about Flora Duffy before I knew about Flora Duffy. And so just you saying that and how hearing him say that makes you feel just emphasizes his importance to what he continues to contribute in Bermuda. So no, awesome to hear that.
And I'm laughing because I'm going to be very Bermudian right now. He's my cousin.
That's the most Bermudian thing ever.
So when you said it, I was like, yep, that's Steve.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure he had like a shirt on with a photo of me and him printed on the shirt.
Wow.
And yeah. No,
yep. And have spent some Christmases with him when I was very young. But yeah, so that is awesome. See, Flora, you and I are connected. I don't know about where Jamal fits in this, but so just like you've touched so many people, as I mentioned before, I get very jealous when I see others taking pictures with you, and I'm here in Atlanta, right? But you've touched so many Bermudians, especially the young Bermudians. How does it feel to know that you're inspiring so many other young people through your accomplishments to go on and achieve their own?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's incredible, right? And I think when I first started racing, and I never really thought of that. I was so like performance based, like I got to go in, win races, do well, and then you step back and realize the impact you're having, and it just like it's easily the most special thing that's come throughout my career. When I was recently back in December, I went and visited a few primary schools, and it was amazing to see the kids' reaction. I guess, to me, it sounds weird for me to say this, but when I would go in and speak to them at their assemblies, and, all of them had all these amazing questions, and they're like, hi, Flora Duffy. Can I take a picture? Can I have a hug? And they, a lot of them had watched the race and had taken part in a triathlon. And I was just like blown away. And it's really special. And I guess I just try to relate to them and be like, look, I went to Port Royal Primary School. I sat in a hole just like you're sitting in now. So just remember that anything is possible. And just truly hope that they can go, follow their craziest dreams and hope that they come true for them.
Indeed.
Awesome.
You mentioned Christmas, the holidays, it depends on when your season ends. I know, like, I follow football, cricket, so I know when those seasons are. Basketball usually starts a certain time, ends a certain time. It's a new calendar year. What does a triathlete season look like? When does it end? Is there a mid-season? Like, is it how does it work?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, because now it feels like you can race from January until December. There's just so many racing opportunities. So for me, I'm trying to be quite specific on the racing that I do this year, because it's the year before an Olympics. So I will start racing in May, and it'll either end in September or in November. I'm hoping for September, because then that just gives me a longer time I'll have a nice break, and then I'll have more time before the 2024 Olympics to sort of build up and get into my training. But yeah, I could start racing in March and race all the way through until November. And that would be totally normal. And it's a lot. These races are all over the world. So you constantly kind of have to weigh up of like, okay, I want to go to that race, but just the wear and tear that travel can have on your body, and crossing time zones and then recovering and getting ready for the next race. And I think it's not a bad problem to have. I think it's great for the sport of triathlon that there's so many events, but yeah, I feel like I get pulled in so many directions that I have to be like, right, this is when I'm going to race, May through September, and just make the most of it. And there'll be a few important races throughout that time that I will really focus on and try to have like a peak performance at.
Indeed.
That is, I'm just thinking of all the places that you're going to go. And, if you ever need anybody to assist.
She has Dan for that, Sherry.
Dan needs an assistant too. So with all your accomplishments, what hasn't Dame Flora Duffy achieved in her sport that she still has her sights set on?
Yeah, well, I think I'm in a very privileged position in that I have pretty much achieved everything that I've wanted to. I mean, becoming Olympic champion in 2021 was the ultimate goal. So that has just, allowed me to race from this very like content place. But I still want to go back to Paris 2024, and I would love to medal there again. That's the big focus. And I think the big reason behind that is to have family, friends there. Everything that I missed out during a COVID Olympics when no one could be there. I was very fortunate Dan was there, but there was no crowd. There's no one to really celebrate with afterwards. So I think for me, having that full experience is something that really drives and motivates me and gets me excited to go to another Olympics and put in all the work that it takes to get there.
We've got some questions from the audience out here. Jody Virgil actually says, good morning, Dan, Flora. Congratulations and Happy New Year. Our colleague, Tamara McHale, she's saying, great to hear from you. Wonder how she prepares mentally. Yeah, speak to us how you prepare mentally for what you do.
Yeah, so on one side, I do speak to a sports psychologist pretty regularly, and that's just kind of can be discussing any sort of maybe issues I'm having or worries throughout the season. And then specifically going into a race, I will sit down with my coach. So for example, for the Tokyo Olympics, I sat down with my coach and we went through every single race scenario that we could think of that would happen and planned on how I would react to that, what I would do in that moment just so that I would be comfortable if this scenario played out or this scenario. And for me, that really helps me feel confident and comfortable going into a race that I've thought through, okay, if this happens, I know what I'll do. If this happens, I know what I do. Just to try to like control any sort of controllables as well. So yeah, it's definitely a major part of my racing, the mental ability to be able to stand on that start line and have full confidence in yourself that you can execute a great race and really put yourself out there, which I think a lot of athletes kind of struggle with. So yeah, I found going through all the different race scenarios prior to helps me feel comfortable and just like relieve some of that like nervous tension I might be having leading into a race.
Indeed.
I love that.
We've got Larry Marshall asking, speaking of competing in Bermuda, any plans on competing the Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby?
Yes, that has been on my like wish list for races the past few years, but just for a few reasons, it's never worked out. I think the hard part is that in May, I've already started my international racing. So it then makes it trickier to like insert flying back to Bermuda for the May 24th race. But trust me, I talk to Dan about it all the time and I'm desperate to do it. So I want to do it a year that it goes from Somerset into town. So
yes,
it'll happen. It'll happen. And I'm very excited about it.
All righty. Karen Simmons, she's asking, what is your sleep routine when competing and how does it differ during your off season?
Great question.
Yes, sleep is a huge part of my recovery, and that is a huge part of my being able to train at the level I do and race at the level that I do. And so I try to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night, and then I take naps in the day, which is a huge crucial part. So training is definitely very scheduled so that I can schedule time in for a nap to help with my recovery. But yeah, I try to get 8 to 9 hours when I'm training. So that's, now until November. And then when I take 4 weeks off at the end of my season, I'm then like very relaxed on how much sleep I'm getting, very relaxed on everything, what I'm eating, drinking, just because I just need that to like really unplug. But recently I've been wearing an Oura ring. I heard you talking about, your Garmin watch that tracks your sleep. So I use an Oura ring and that helps track my sleep, which I found really interesting. Just to see how many hours per night that I'm getting and keep myself accountable to get to bed on time.
Sleep, yeah. Managing my sleep is interesting. We've got Jody Virgil says, I love that strategy of going through any and all scenarios beforehand. That can be applied to any situation. Larry Marshall says, Burgess, help me with my scholarship. Great man. Look at that. I know he's helped many people with that. Mark Arthur C. Phillips, and I think you kind of answered this, but if there's anything else, he's asking, Flora, what are some of your future goals as a triathlete?
So I have Paris 2024. And then outside of that, I played around with a little bit of long course racing in 2022, some of the 70.3 half Ironman distance. And I would love to do a bit more of that at some point and really kind of hone in that skill because it's very different from the racing I'm doing now. But I don't see myself going up to full Ironman. I'll leave that one to Tyler Butterfield and I'll stay with the shorter stuff.
No worries. Hey, everyone has their strengths. Stick to them, right? Some people doing half marathons over full marathons. Flora, I want to go back to earlier you were speaking about going to the schools and engaging with young people. Tell us more about the Flora Fund and how the Flora Fund is actually helping young people and people with athletic aspirations as well.
Yes. So the Flora Fund launched in 2018. And since then, we've given out over $60,000 worth of grants to young people, which, I mean, it's a small start, but I feel like it's been very meaningful for me to have used this platform to do that, to give back to the community that's given me so much. And really, the goal of it's quite broad. Honestly, you don't have to be in high performance young athlete. It's just any way to sort of keep kids in sport, keep them motivated, and keep them enjoying it and opening up opportunities, whether that is needing funds to go to a race overseas, needing funds to pay for, a term on a football club, or just whatever it may be. And it's really been kind of great. All the applications that we've received and the various sports that the foundation has helped. And so it's definitely something that as my career winds down, I will devote more focus to help, continuing to help young people in Bermuda pursue their sporting goals, whatever they may be. If they're just, locally, or if they have, passion to try to go overseas and go professional, or whatever they want to do.
Nice. Well, before we let you go, there are so many people with aspirations, not just in sport, but some people have dreams of maybe acting or singing, entertainment. What advice would you give someone who, they really want to get to this place, they want to achieve these things, but they just probably don't feel like they're achievable?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone goes through those phases of like, they have this dream and they're like, but why would I be able to do this? But I mean, I think you really have to back yourself and believe in yourself, and surround yourself with, positive people that can help you pursue whatever your goal may be. And it's definitely going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. There's going to be so many downs. I mean, in my career, there was so many low points where I thought, how am I ever going to get back? But it's just slowly chipping away at it, taking it day by day, and just really being present on like, okay, well, what can I do today that's going to help me pursue my goal, and focus really on the small steps rather than thinking out big, which can be daunting and overwhelming. But just focusing on the small attainable steps, which then slowly but surely that can take you to the level or open the opportunities up to achieve these sort of, I guess, daunting and scary goals. And I think one phrase that I love, and I'm often thinking about this, is that this is not word for word of it, but I don't focus on being the best. I focus on being the best at getting better. And that's something that's really resonated with me, and something that, I carry with me regardless of where I am in my season or the year.
I love everything about what you just said, especially the small steps to attain it. It's important, because I'm gonna be honest, I want to go from 0 to 100. That's just the way I am, but I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better, Dan.
And we can all be guilty of that. Like, I'm like that now. when I have to do all these small steps to get back to my fitness. And I'm like, oh, can I just be fit? Like snap my fingers. Yes. But it's like, no, you have to just keep showing up and putting in the effort and being present.
We're learning from the best, folks. World champion right here. Steve Bridges in the house. He says, congratulations on a great show, Jamal, cousin Sherry. Good morning, Dan and Flora. Always so proud of you. Tell the audience of that infamous 400 meters in high school when you were so nervous racing sprinters. Talk to us. Tell us about this secret.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I could never tell this story as good as Steve. So you have to have Steve on here to tell you the story. But so I think it was for interschool sports. You had to do 3 events to be like champion girl or whatever. So Steve had this bright idea that I would run a 400. Now I am a distance runner. I am not speed. So Steve enters me in a 400 and he is extremely nervous. He's come to watch it. I don't think he came to watch my other events. With the 400, he was there. And we start off and I am dead last going through 200, like dead last. And I think Steve's like, oh no. But then slowly but surely, I don't know if it was the fact that I was dead last or something, but like something clicked in me. And I was like, Flora, you've got to go. So somehow this diesel engine got going and the 400 managed to be okay. I might have even been like second or third by the end of it. Maybe people went out too hot and I came through, but it was definitely, Steve will probably talk about that race and maybe my Olympics to people.
Wow. Wow. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. One more question before we let you go. Maya's got a really fun one here. She said, at the BTA congratulations interview for Dan Flora's Olympic win, Flora mentioned her warm-up song was Humble by Kendrick Lamar. Has it changed since?
Nope, it hasn't. That's my go-to song. I've listened to it before pretty much every race this year. I mean, I listened to a few others, but yeah, that's like my main one. I still love it. It's perfect.
All right. Dan, Flora, honestly, Sherry, do you have anything else you would love to say to Dan, Flora?
No, I'm just so in awe. And like I said, it's just a privilege to have this conversation with you. And I've enjoyed everything that she's had to say. So no, I'm just sitting here in awe.
Audience, tell me if I'm lying, but I have never seen Sherry in awe of someone like this on this show. So this is very strange for me to see. She hasn't been. She seems starstruck. But thank you so much for kicking off this year with us. Really, really appreciate what you're doing out there, how you're inspiring a generation and a country, an entire island. I say this with respect, and I'm not trying to put you in a space that makes you uncomfortable, but in a country where everything seems so political in such a small place, you are like that bright light that gives people hope. And I'm so happy that we can begin this show this year in 2023 in this direction with Bermuda's biggest star. Please know we would love to have you back whenever you're able. We know that you're preparing for the Olympics, but we will be behind you because we're telling you it's going to be a second gold medal in a row in Paris. I'm not putting pressure on you, but if we have to do our show from there to make sure it happens, we will, damn it. But honestly, congratulations on all you've accomplished, Dan, Flora, and all the best in this year as you prepare for your season, as you go on to accomplish new things and get ready for the Olympics next year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. And very
no problem.
By your words. Thank you.
No problem. Enjoy South Africa.
We're going to start chartering flights to Paris. I know that.
Yes, I want everyone there to watch.
Dan, Flora Duffy, folks. Have a great day, madam. All right. Dan, Flora Duffy, thank you so much. Awesome conversation. She is such a great person. I absolutely love speaking to her. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. Daily Play will also wrap it up with our final thoughts. First show of the year, folks. Couldn't have asked for a better person. Do not go anywhere.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right. Thanks again to Dan Flora Duffy. What a great conversation. Really, really, really appreciate her and Dan for starting this year off with us in the right way. Thanks again to One Communications, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring we're able to have these conversations with all of you. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sherry, are you ready?
Yeah, Jamal, that's good.
All right, Sherry. It's a Who Said It. All right, the following quote. Who said it? Quote, find the good. It's all around. Find it, showcase it, and you'll start believing in it.
Barack?
This individual won 4 Olympic medals in the Berlin Games.
4 Olympic. Are we looking at Flojo? Let's see. Who was back then? I don't know, Jamal. 4.
I thought Berlin would have been a hint for everyone, but now people are Googling, so.
I don't know.
Find the good, it's all around you. Find it, showcase it, and you'll start believing in it. Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens, who famously won 4 gold medals at the Berlin Olympics, which was famous for many other things, but we will not go there right now. Anyway, Sherry.
As soon as she said it, it came to mind. But it came.
I mean, we got some folks in the audience, obviously, Googled it, and Karen Simmons and Larry Marshall and Mark Arthur C. Phillips and Sister Marcia Robin Patrice Bradshaw. So they all got
You think Larry Googled it?
No, I don't.
I don't think Larry Googled it.
I'm going to say he did anyway because he can't defend himself over here. But yeah. Anyway, Sister Sherry, some final thoughts on today's show. We had a discussion. What can we do, personally and as individuals to ensure that our community and our, loved ones benefit? And then we had Dan Flora on. Well, what you got for us?
Well, for me, I'm looking forward to this new year. I am excited about that conversation because I feel like even the audience is on board with the same kind of goals. Everyone is just trying to better themselves more so than anything else. But I feel like our discussion and our focus with Dame Flora Duffy go hand in hand, right? In the sense of she is motivation, inspiration. She is all of the things. And it's beautiful to see what she has given back to our community, how she has used her platform to inspire and be there for young people. And I just wish her all the best. I was starstruck. I'm still in awe. And I love what she represents, especially for Bermuda. I'm glad she's ours, Yeah. I'm glad she belongs to us.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, for the first part, I think, again, accountability. We have to start with each other. The greatest gift we can give is good health and listening and the ability to want to do better for ourselves. It's almost impossible for us to help others if we don't help ourselves. So just keep that in mind as we go through this calendar year. As far as Dame Flora Duffy, she's a breath of fresh air. Like I said it and I'll say it again. I think she's that bright star. She gives people hope. She's a person that Bermudians celebrate around and celebrate about. No politics, not a political football, but someone who's accomplishing things that no other Bermudian has ever done. So I am happy that she is open and willing to engage Bermudians on our platform and really give people a sense of hope and appreciation. Aunt Karen Simmons going to whoop me. She said, I did not Google it. Just watched the documentary on him last week, Jamal. I'm sorry, Aunt Karen. I mean, Sherry, you got
She might have been driving or doing something as to why she wasn't too quick with it.
No, you got me in trouble, Sherry. Sherry, you got some daily inspiration to send us off for the first day of this show?
I do. Never let fear or failure be an excuse for not trying. Society tells us that to fail is the most terrible thing in the world, but I know it isn't. Failure is part of what makes us human. And that came from Amber Deckers.
I like that. Failure is a part of what makes us human. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy, as well as NMAX, for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you. We love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. It feels so good to be back, and if all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.